Hi boys and girls, welcome back. As you know, we have been talking in this unit about characters and how to describe them. In our story, The Three Billy Goats Gruff, we had several characters that we talked about. Little Billy Goat, Medium Billy Goat, and Great Big Billy Goat, and also the Troll. Today, I want us to focus on one of them and describe them using words from our story that help to tell what that character is like. We did this with Rough Face Girl. If you remember, we picked some words that described her character. I can show you just to give you some memory here. We said she was feeling sad and lonely, not pretty, but that she was hardworking, kind, and nice. She was a hard worker, and we drew a picture of what she looked like. So we're going to do that today with a character from The Three Billy Goats Gruff. And I want to focus on Little Billy Goat. So you'll see we have a graphic organizer to use. It looks like this. And we're going to be analyzing characters. And we're going to look at this map to help us choose words that describe Little Billy Goat. Now, when I think about him, a lot of different words come to mind because he's tiny, but he was really brave in our story. If you think back to what happens with him, remember how they were feeling hungry and their grass was going brown and dry, and Little Billy Goat saw some grass on the other side that was nice and green, so it was his idea to go over there to eat it. So when I think of some words to explain Little Billy Goat to someone else, I would think of words like this, and I have an example for you. And here we have our paper. This one's blank. And the bubbles want us to show the word that we use to describe Little Billy Goat. And this means page number. So they're asking us to write down the page number where we can support that word that we use to explain what Little Billy Goat Gruff is like. So for instance, I'm going to show you my bubbles that I filled out on Little Billy Goat Gruff. I said that he was pink because it did tell us what color he was. So if I'm describing him, I would say what color he was. You can even add that he's little as a description. He's pink and little. He's hungry. He's a problem solver. I'd say that he's probably pretty fast. I'd say Little Billy Goat is smart, and that he had courage, and that he was very brave. So I'm going to show you how I support all of these words I use to describe Little Billy Goat Gruff with evidence from our reading or our text. And I go into a little bit more detail. So I started with words that I wanted to use to describe him, and now I'm going to show you how I explain that. So when you do your own paper, you can choose to do it either way. You can just choose some words to describe Little Billy Goat Gruff, but if you want to challenge yourself, see if you can explain or support your answers using our story. I'll show you what I mean. Here's my next paper. Remember how I said he was pink in color and I added that he was little? Here I can find where I read that in my story and write down the page number. So if I just look, I remember they said it right in the beginning. And here it was Three Billy Goats Gruff. There was a Little Billy Goat Gruff. He was pink. And I know from the description of his name that he was little. So I found both of those things down here on page 18. So I can write that right on my paper where I found it in my story on page 18. So somebody who wants to look back through our text could turn right to 18 and say, oh, yep, they do mention that he's little and he's pink. Now, I also wrote down that he was hungry. So I explain it a little more on this paper. He's hungry because the grass was brown and dry. Where did I find that? Well, I look back in my text. Down here in paragraph 2, the goats did not have enough to eat because the grass there had turned brown and dry, and they were hungry. He even says on the next page out loud, I am hungry. And I can see that he's talking because it's in quotation marks, said little Billy Goat Gruff. So I can support this description of little Billy Goat Gruff on pages 18 and 19. Here I said that he was a problem solver because he was the one that figured out he could go to the green grass on the hill. And I've already wrote down that I found that on page 20. This made me think he was a problem solver because he solved the problems for the goats. So let's turn to page 20. Sorry about that. You know how our lights go out here in school if we're too quiet in our classroom. But now we're back on. So I'm going to show you where I think that it told us he was a problem solver and solved the problems for his brothers. Here on page 20, it says, one day they decided to cross the bridge. And he told them that I want to eat the grass on the hill. And he went right on over and decided to try to cross the bridge. I also said that he was brave because he decided to cross the bridge first. I don't know about you, but if I was the littlest one in my family, I'd probably send my big brother to go try to cross the bridge first for that grass. But he was pretty brave. He decided, I'm going to go over that bridge and see what happens. So I wrote that he was brave because he decided to go over the bridge first. And also that was on page 20. I wrote that he had courage because he didn't run away when he saw the troll. Now, if you look in this picture here, he's looking down under the bridge and he sees this mean, nasty troll. Looks like he's growling. They use the word roared. If something roared at me on a bridge, I would probably run the other way. But he didn't. He stayed there and he talked to the troll and he tried to get him to let him cross. So that made me say that he was smart. I felt little Billy Goat Gruff was smart because he tricked the troll into waiting for his bigger brother. He said, if you think I'm tasty, wait till you have some more meat on my even bigger Billy Goat brother. So here he said, I'm little, wait for my brother. Medium Billy Goat Gruff is much bigger. And the troll bought into his idea. And I wrote that it was on page 20. I'm going to add that right here. That's how I support my answer. And last, the bubble I said to describe the little goat was that he was fast. Because at the end, he didn't give the goat a second to change his mind. He tricked him to wait for the brother and off he ran. And I can tell by this picture that he's getting away quickly, even though this troll might be deciding to go after him instead. So he made it to the sweet green grass and was happy. So that's how I decided to fill out my bubble sheet on little Billy Goat Gruff. See if you can come up with your own words to describe little Billy Goat Gruff. Have fun.